Hello, 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 Chicago Bears fans. Welcome to the Bears Den podcast, number 64. And we have a great show lined up for you guys tonight. We are discussing a win. I got the win flag up over the Cincinnati Bengals. As always, show us some love. You can find us on all the major platforms. Share our content. Don't be shy tonight. Send us some comments. Send us some feedback. You can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. I'm also streaming my personal iPad on TikTok. So if you are watching on TikTok, please send me some comments. You only can see my ugly face on TikTok because I cannot stream from StreamYard on the TikTok. But as always, let me introduce the rest of the Bears in the Bears Den. I am your host, Andy. I got the superstar, Todd.
Hey.
And as always, I got the bad guy, the legend, Chicago Clarence. Again, guys, thank you for watching and enjoy the show. So let's kick it off with the trade today before we get into the game. We pretty much did what I expected us to do. We got a piece, a body, a rotation piece. I didn't expect us to go for a home run. So we traded for Joe Tryon today. I had to look him up. I never heard of him. He had some stats. I mean, he did okay his first 4 years. 4 sacks, 5 sacks, 2 sacks, 15 total, and no sacks this year. I mean, I like his size. He's listed at 6'5". I mean, it's a rotation piece. Todd, any input on Joe Tryon?
He's a number 4 defensive end that's playing number 3 for us, I understand.
Yeah. I'm Chicago Clarence. Any thoughts on this trade today?
Got a couple thoughts. Number one, it kind of feels like that this was a move to get a body.
It was.
And not necessarily a move because we're 5-3 and we want to boost that, which is kind of disappointing to me. Are we just planning on sticking with the plan, building this team through the draft? You know, are we wanting to make a playoff push? Because if we are, then there's just no way that you can sell me on that you're trying to make a playoff push with this defense and the injuries that we have. We went into this season knowing that we needed help on the defensive end side before we had any injuries. Now, the fact that we've had multiple injuries screams out even more that we need help. You know, we need a bona fide pass rusher. So I would just like to sit down in a room with Ryan Poles for about 20 minutes and ask him some pointed questions as to what is the plan.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I know Ryan Poles has failed us in the trenches since he was hired. I think that's fair to say. He's never got it. The first day he clocked in on the job, actually the first day that McCaskey picked him up at the airport, we needed defensive end help. And he's just never addressed it. Like I said, I think we did what I expected us to do. I didn't think we were going to hit a home run today. I just thought we would get a body. Because, I mean, we had to get somebody today, and that's about what I think we got. I mean, I hope he does well. Maybe here's surprises. Maybe he's somebody that they love and they were watching, and they definitely like his size. He's got the size that they like, the length, 6'5". I mean, maybe Dennis Allen can unlock something, or maybe he can't. So, guys, let's move on to the absolute craziness that we saw Sunday. Now, I'm going to start off with a funny story.
Some of us saw it.
I'm going to start off with a story before we get into it. So Tremaine Edmonds did the interception. He ran it back. We were going nuts because we thought we won, or we thought we were up by 3 touchdowns. Let me rephrase that. Some people left, no names.
I left too. I was 3 stores down buying ice cream when my phone started blowing up.
So I decided to quit paying attention to the TV. I paid my bar tab, went to the bathroom, came back. Our friend Casey is just, Andy, we're going to lose. Andy, we're going to lose. I'm like, Casey, that is impossible. We're up by 3 touchdowns. No, They called it back. They didn't count it. He says Delmont contact. We did 3 and out. We kicked the ball. Cincinnati's already scored. This is their 2-point conversion. I'm like, calm down. They still got to get an onside kick, recover it, and then score again. And they did. At this point, there's 42-41. Todd makes the Bears Den podcast history, comes back inside with his ice cream.
Yeah, I was still in the plaza there.
His eyes are huge because I think he thought we were messing with him because we were texting him and Clarence to come back. And then the graphic went up on the screen, Bengals 15-0 run in the last 49 seconds. And then Todd's mouth opens up. He's like, what the hell is going on? So,
my wife came for the first time in, I don't know, how about 10 years now. And she sat through most of it, and there was an ice cream shop, and she's like, yeah, let's go over there. So, because it was over with. But yeah, I was close enough to come back and see the end.
It was, but you know what? When we got the ball back on that final drive, this time I took note and listened to everybody at the table, everybody in the room. And I did not hear one person say Caleb Williams isn't going to get the job done. Like, I don't know when was the last time we said that about the quarterback. Like, nobody there said Caleb Williams is not going to get it done.
I'm gonna give an assist to the terrible tackling of the Cincinnati Bengals.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I did not think we were going to score a touchdown. I thought we were going to drive down the field, and the field goal, who knows? Maybe it would have went through the uprights. Maybe it would not have because we had a horrible day with special teams. But
yeah,
I took mental note. No one at our table, nobody in that room said Caleb Williams is not going to get the job done. Like, I don't know. I've said this before on our podcast. I don't know when was the last time we all said that. When Justin Fields got the ball in the final drive, we were like, oh, shit. Mitchell Trubisky used to get the ball in the final drive. We were like, oh, shit. But, like, we were confident he was going to get the job done. Chicago Clarence, you were one of the people that left. And Casey, I will say this. Casey said, and I quote, I'm glad Clarence left. He would have overturned the table. So, Clarence, I know you watched the replays. What do you think of that final, I don't know, 2 minutes, 34 seconds where it just – the shit just hit the fan and it was on?
Well, in my defense, the plan was to bar hop on Sunday.
Right.
And I was going to the next bar to get us a table because I thought that this game was over. Shame on me for thinking a 41-27 lead is safe with less than 2 minutes left in the damn game. I mean, shame on me. I'll say it again. This is one of those games that the Bears lose in the past.
Yes. Without a doubt.
It's eerily similar, maybe not to the same extent, but eerily similar to week 1 when we had Minnesota all but beat and didn't put them away. But it was our quarterback, if nothing else, needed this because every week he gets lambasted, even by us, for missing the layups, and he missed a few this game. But it says a lot about you if you can take the ball with the game on the line, one timeout, and what was it, 58 seconds?
Mm-hmm.
And we were just hoping to get in field goal range because a field goal would have won the game. But we scored a touchdown, and aided by, Cincinnati's terrible defense, we were able to score. But that says a lot about the signal caller. So kudos to him for that. I'm even semi-forgiving to the defense because we've got a lot of people out. I mean, a lot of people. And to have Joe Flacco, I mean, damn, the guy has got 1 foot on the ARP line. He's, 40-something years old, throw for 470 yards on you, And let me say this, Cincinnati's wide receivers are no joke.
No.
Unbelievable.
No.
They are a handful with 2 healthy starters on our defense. So, I was glad that we had only given up 27 points to be, to be honest. I was very surprised with that. So I'm not going to crash on the defense as much as anything. My biggest issue, I thought our special teams was horrible.
It was horrible.
Right. Well,
They've
yeah.
been bad all year. I think Hightower has to be sit down in a dark room with a flashlight shining in his face and ask some tough questions.
Yeah.
Because what are we doing? We've been bad all year. What are some of the things you're doing? I mean, if it ain't the kicking game, it's the return game. We don't have answers. We paid people. We spent money on this special teams unit, and once again, we're not getting a return for the money we invested in the unit.
I
So
mean,
I
27
think
points.
after this game, after this right here, the defense with the injuries notwithstanding, the special teams unit is the most that I would say that has to. I mean, we started this game off with them
Right.
returning a kickoff for a
Yes,
touchdown.
we did.
Yeah. So, I mean, the defense didn't give up 27. The special teams gave up the first touchdown. So,
Yes, Oz on TikTok. If you have a question, write it down, send it, and I'll answer it. Yeah, our special teams is atrocious. Guys, would you make the move? We've been asking this before. Would you make the move to Moody, cut Santos? I mean, he had a rough day. He had one blocked, and he missed one that there was a flag on. He had a rough day.
he can't have many more rough days. Because I think that Johnson's already tired of him. I think he was tired of him before, before
He signed Moody to push the envelope, I think.
Yeah, and he'll do that again, and eventually he'll just go that way.
Clarence, would you make that move? I mean, Santos is accurate but doesn't have the leg, and Moody is more inaccurate but has the leg. I guess it's pick your poison.
Right.
The
Clarence,
thing that bothers me is in this day and time, especially when you've got an offense that's struggling to get the ball in the end zone, especially particularly our red zone offense isn't good, then you need a guy who can kick field goals. But sometimes, man, you need a guy who can kick a 55-yarder to win the game. And just about every kicker in the league can do that now, except ours.
Yeah, I mean,
we can't even kick the ball to the end zone on kickoff. That's a problem.
It is.
I mean, we're giving up 15 to 20 yards on kick returns now automatically because he can't kick the ball to the end zone. Let's talk about the Minnesota game again.
Mm-hmm.
When he couldn't get the ball through the end zone.
Right.
And they were allowed to fill that ball and instantly, kill a timeout for us. So you got to have a kicker that can do that. And you start missing inside the 40, that now we got problems.
Right.
I mean, Cincinnati racked up over 200 return yards. 200. And we retained Richard Hightower. That was the only coach Ben Johnson retained. It was Richard Hightower.
Yeah.
Well, he also retained the strength and conditioning coaching staff as well.
And
look where that got us.
Right. I mean, you can't necessarily say all these injuries are on them, but that is kind of their job, right?
Yeah.
It's definitely their job.
Yeah.
So, guys, what did you think of our running game? I mean, we were unbelievable. I mean, Monangai was unreal. That kid ran hard. I know Clarence was even happy. Hungry. He ran hungry. 26 carries, 198 yards. The kid ran his ass off, which is what we should have done against Baltimore, against a poorly ranked defense. But this guy was toting the rock like you wouldn't. I'm not gonna say we need to bench Swift. I don't care who starts or whatever. I would say always feed the hot hand. But how good was Monangai Sunday, Todd?
Yeah, no, he was great. He was great. Well, they need a closer share number. It doesn't need to be, 20 carries for Swift and 5, 6, 7 carries for Monangai. It needs to balance out. I'm not saying it should be 50-50 exactly, but it needs to be closer to that.
Clarence, I know you were really happy with Monangai.
Well, I was happy with him attacking the lanes in between the tackles. I've always said Swift, is not a guy who likes to get hit. Manungai ran through tackles, and I was happy to see that. I'm going to also be honest with you. This is against one of the most worst ranked run defense in the league.
It
You
Right.
is.
know,
It was.
so he basically did what he should have done, which was run all over that defense. So, you just I don't
Well,
want to be someone who just accepts the fool's gold right here. I mean, that could be the case.
it's not his fault. That's who they played. That's just the way it went down.
I'm not, I understand that as well, and that's the reason why I started off the way I said. He
Right.
was a willing runner. He ran through contact, which is something we criticize
He
Swift
did it.
on.
He
You
did his
know,
job.
he
He
did what
did his
he
job.
he did what he was asked to do, and
Hmm.
I was glad of that. But I always like to look at both sides of the card. That was against a really bad defense.
It is. And ironically, we're facing a really bad defense again at run defense. We faced the Giants.
We have gotten pretty fortunate on. You can't control injuries and other teams' injuries.
No, you can't.
But we we've gotten pretty fortunate in the way and we have injuries too. So that balances out a little bit. But I mean, with Scadaboo going down and Neighbors not playing, hurt out for the year, the Giants are coming into Chicago, and you know we should win that game. I mean, they're Jackson Dart's been all right, but we have more talent than they do right now. We should beat that team.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, if guys finally, Colston Loveland,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to finally, but he arrived. He was huge.
He was.
Yeah. I mean, that's why you draft a guy like him 10th. I mean, him and Manungai, hopefully together they have a bright, bright future. I mean, I know Loveland got extended play because Cole Kmet got taken off the field with a concussion, but this is why you draft him number 10. And you can see the talent he has. He was tremendous. Like when he caught that ball on the final drive, I just thought, just go down, get a field goal, but he took it to the house.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to see it. I think as the year goes on, I think Caleb may try to find him.
Better.
Yeah, I mean, he's a big kid. He's not small. He needs to find him for jump balls in the end zone as well. But, guys, it's time to have a conversation about Roma Dunze. Clarence, I know you were hard on him Sunday. He is dropping balls like I don't know what's going on with him. He looks nothing like the wide receiver that started the year. He looks nothing like a number one now. Like DJ Moore now looks like our best receiver.
I don't know how much of his injury was downplayed, or if that's part of it or what. I know one thing: his dad going online and talking crap's not helping anything.
That's been like proven not to be true.
Is that right?
Like a burner account. Yeah,
Okay.
There's
right.
no, as far as we all know, that's not true. But Chicago Clarence, what is going on with Rome? He's dropping the ball. He didn't even have one catch.
I wish I knew. I mean,
Yeah.
me and you and Todd, you and Todd, we discussed this team off camera a lot, and you guys seem to be higher on the Doomsday. I was glad we drafted him as well, but we have always been critical of him dropping, balls, and there's some catches that he should definitely make.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't understand why he can't seem to squeeze the onion sometime and bring that ball in. He does lead the team in targets.
Yeah.
So
that was the thing. I mean, before I found out that wasn't true, and that's
he does lead the team in targets. And I can be honest with you, neither he nor DJ Moore looks like a number one receiver right now for any team. I know we paying DJ Moore like one, but he had a good game. I mean, but this is the thing. DJ Moore is not on the same level as Higgins or Chase or Jefferson.
No.
He's not on their level. But this is my point though. When you are the number one dude on your team and you're being paid that way, You can't be second on the team in targets and receptions. You have got to be the guy. Sometimes these receivers, we all call them divas, but sometimes they do make points. You should have an attitude when you ain't getting the ball thrown your way. It is your job to score touchdowns and rack up yardage for your quarterback. And if you and him ain't on the same page, and we all can agree that he and Caleb Williams are not on the same page, then we need to be trying to figure out why, if you're making what he's making a year.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to be the number one, you can have a bad game, but you can't string 2 or 3 together. If you're injured and you're trying to play through it, just don't, because it's taken away from the team now. I mean, if you're legitimately injured, you need to ride that out, and that's the only thing I'm guessing, because he's had some fantastic games this year and strung together, but what's 2-3 games in a row now, or he's just disappeared.
Yeah,
his body language has not been the same since Justin Fields left his football team. We commented on it all last year. I'm talking about DJ.
Yeah, DJ, yeah. No,
yeah.
DJ's body language is often terrible.
Yeah. I mean, the guy, DJ, is probably tired of losing. Like, this is the first time in his career he's had the same quarterback in back-to-back years. He's not had a winning record yet. Like, he's probably I'm sick of losing as a Bears fan. Imagine going out there and playing every Sunday and ended up losing.
Right.
I mean, he was with the Panthers here in Charlotte. They were always losing. Mm-hmm. They're still losing, even though they beat Green Bay.
Hey, give it to them.
Yeah.
They're 5-4 right now, bro.
I know they are.
They helped us out. I mean, that was amazing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe they went to Lambeau and won, but that's
something
podcast.
That we sure don't seem to be able to do, even though we did it last year.
Yeah, no, we did it last time we were there.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like DJ's just sick of losing. I would be. When you're playing, how many years has he played now? I don't know, 6, 7? Always losing, always different a quarterback. I'd be sick of it too.
Okay, but I just want you to be the guy, though.
No,
I mean, we're paying you to be the guy, so be the guy. Be what you were the first year you got there. He's not even that guy right now.
No,
he's not.
Him and Justin did seem to have a chemistry, a very good chemistry, honestly. But Rome is just falling off big time. Like,
he needs to bounce back or sit it out if he's hurt.
I mean, if he's hurt, I get it. And to his credit, I think there were 2 balls that I'm thinking about last week when he had the interception. Caleb put that ball behind him. That wasn't on Rome. But, man, he put 2 on him past Sunday, and he dropped both of them.
Right.
I mean, I'm hoping he gets right because, I mean, we need him. I mean, he's a very good player. I mean, I like Rome. I wish he would get right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what's the status on Burton? He's still in
haven't heard anything.
Concussion protocol?
Yes, he is still in concussion protocol. He still is day-to-day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hoping he comes back. I'm hoping him and Loveland. I'm hoping he can produce like Loveland because I think Burton can produce, but like I said, there's a lot of mouths to feed in this offense.
And Oz had his best game as a Bear this week.
Yeah, well, he got extended reps because Burton's out,
right?
And then Komet went out, so that opened up the window for more targets.
I mean, Monangai and
Swift
and
is out,
and Loveland are the future. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, when it comes down to it, they're locked up, and they're locked up at a decent number. I mean, even being a first round pick, it's still a decent number. Financially.
Yeah. And Britton Brown, man, I was happy to see him get on the field. We all liked him in the preseason. He ran hard too, and reportedly that's his first NFL touchdown.
He had super fresh legs there and just ran around everybody.
So I was happy.
But do you see how he just attacked the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
He got the ball and there was no hesitation. He was gone.
I don't know why he can't stick on a roster. I mean,
I'm wondering the same thing. I am wondering the same thing.
As a 5th running back, if you're aggressive like that, you should.
I don't understand it I know it seems like every single podcast I watch that's Chicago related. Why the hell is Roshan Johnson on this roster and Brenton Brown is on the practice squad?
We would always sign that other guy too that would end up in Cleveland after he left us, and he always played really well for us, but he could never stay anywhere more than a year.
Dontarian Evans, I think
Yeah.
you're talking about. He played for App State here in the Carolinas.
I don't know.
We're
Anyway.
talking about the same guy.
It's some guys just and Gardner Johnson is one of those guys. We'll see how that goes, but some guys just can't stick very long in one place.
Gardner Johnson will probably play well all year. Maybe we resign him, maybe we don't, but he always wears out his welcome.
Hey, if he's got flexibility, if he's really a safety, but then can play nickel, that's valuable, man.
Yeah, he just wears out his welcome everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's right.
So it was good to see Booker back. He got a strip sack.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably going to be our starter now.
Yeah,
he almost has to be our starter.
He's edge too.
Yeah, it was good to see him back. I don't know, defensive end rotation. It's just we don't have anybody.
Well,
Dom Robinson is still listed as day-to-day with an ankle. He's allowed to come back because he's not on the IR, but Daniel Hardy is the only other person besides the kid we traded for today.
Yeah, Phillips was available, and I wouldn't have done a third for him. I bet fourth.
Would
really.
any of you guys have moved on Quentin Williams?
Not. I mean, they got a first and a second, and they got Mozzie Smith.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no,
I wouldn't have paid that.
Not at his age.
I wouldn't have paid that.
I mean, he's a great player for maybe another year or two, but that's a lot, And Sauce, 2 1s, and A.D. Mitchell, who was a second round wide receiver. I mean, he probably goes into the Jets as their second, no less than third wide receiver. That's a lot, man.
As Smalls said, Sauce ain't saucing in New York anymore.
Ain't saucing. Well,
would any of you guys have made a move for Draymond Jones, the guy the Ravens got from the Titans? Like that one was like under the radar. It was a few days ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I was interested in maybe a Kayvon Thibodeau deal. I mean, look, 2 firsts is just, to me, I would do that for Crosby. I would do that for Myles Garrett. But look, they're not. I mean, with what they got for these guys today, they're going to ask for 3 for those guys. So if they're willing to do it, you just can't do that.
And Laura Reed says, "Go Bears!" Thank you. Always go Bears. Yeah, I don't know. The trade, like I said, the trade deadline is what it is, or was what it was. I'm not angry, upset, mad, disappointed.
No,
I
would have liked to have got another defensive back for something, but I'm not even sure I'd give a 5th round pick for, depending on who the back was. But I mean, just another really late round pick swap, hopefully where you get a pick back so you still got the same number. But it would have been nice to get another defensive back too. But the defensive line took priority for sure.
Yeah. Clarence, would you have done anything different today on the trade deadline?
I mean, I would just like to know who they called and what were offered. I know that they made a call for was it Jones?
Jermaine Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson. And we offered a 3rd and they wanted a 2nd. I'm not giving a 2nd for him. So yeah. I can appreciate the effort there because some teams view us as desperate and drove the price up. That was just going to be an issue that Ryan Post is going to have to face. But had you addressed this in the offseason, like we were begging you to, you wouldn't be in the situation that we are in now. And we should expect that teams were going to drive up the price on us. I would have liked to have gotten another body. I don't really know how much this kid helps us. It's just basically a shot in the dark right now. But I think we needed another body. I think that we should have addressed it. Also, the D tackle position, because Jarrett's ain't been healthy, and even when he's been in there, he ain't really been a factor. I've been very disappointed with him this year so far. He's not been a disruptor in the middle taking on blocks and putting pressure up the court on the quarterback up the middle that I thought he was going to be like it was in Atlanta. I know he's a little long on the tooth, but
Yeah.
damn, I expected to get more than what we're getting out of him. And with Tar, I know Asante Samuel Jr. is out there. I know
Right,
Yes.
he
right.
had
That's a
a scary
possibility.
spinal injury.
Yes.
He's been medically cleared to play.
Yeah,
I'd like to know if he's on our radar. If he is, then his ass should be flying to Chicago tomorrow
right.
for a physical because we
And
need him that damn bad. And
yeah,
what's so sad about this? We need him to play Sunday.
Yeah.
That's how bad we are in our
Well,
secondary right now. I mean, because if we're going to keep trotting McLeod out there, I
they
mean,
shot right.
damn.
Mhm.
I mean, because has it even been any possible to be worse than the Sean Wright has been?
But then
He's been bad.
he'll have 7 bad plays, and then he'll have an unbelievable play. But it just doesn't balance out. But I mean, yeah, no,
And Stevenson didn't have a good game.
look, those guys are good receivers.
yeah.
I mean,
We're talking about all world.
I was impressed with Higgins. I haven't watched a lot of Cincinnati football, and they say, well, Higgins is the best number 2, and I think that's probably right. I mean, he was really impressive, but he got paid too. So
And Lars from my hometown, go Lehighton Indians. No, I'm not Lehighton. I'm Palmerton, but whatever.
close enough.
Yeah, close enough. We were rivals in high school.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants, thankfully, Neighbors is out, but they do have some good defensive ends, Thibodeau, and they also drafted the kid from Penn State.
Yeah, Abdul Carter.
Who's isn't really getting it done like I think everybody thought he would be.
Well, they've been pretty happy with him, from what I understand.
His stats aren't that great.
Yeah. Well,
And they also have the other good defensive end. I can't think of him right now.
Burns,
Yes, Brian Burns, the kid from Carolina Panthers,
who I wanted, who I was screaming
yes.
for. When,
Well, they
I was
said-
going to say that.
they
Chicago
said no to that
Clarence.
deal. That was what we asked for. Then they came back with DJ, but supposedly that's
no, we asked for Brown.
Chicago
asked for Brown?
Clarence.
well,
We asked for Brown, and they said no. They gave us DJ Moore.
Brown's good.
Yes. Yes, Chicago Clarence wanted. Did you want Brown or Burns instead of DJ Moore? in that deal?
I wanted Burns when he was in the contract dispute, and they were talking about trading. So that's when I was like, we should have been in on those discussions of trying to get him. I wanted Burns in the deal because I knew Brown was not going to. I knew the Panthers wasn't going to give him up. So I wanted us to ask for Burns and the picks instead of getting DJ Moore. But we needed both.
Yeah.
The Rams offered 2 1s for Burns, and they ended up dealing him like a year later for a second.
Yeah. They said no at the time.
Crazy.
But the guy who said no also got fired.
Yeah.
And then Dan Morgan came in and took that deal.
That's right.
So, guys, next on the plate is the New York Football Giants.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants are not doing very well this year. ESPN right now has us as 3.5-point favorites. But the analytics pretty much says it's 50-50.
Yeah.
Todd, who's winning Sunday?
We're gonna win Sunday at home. We're coming off of that, off of last week. We've been on the road for 2 weeks now, so yeah, I'm not afraid of this team. Especially, I mean, Scatterboo was exciting. That tight end, rookie tight end, or second year tight ends played pretty well too. But and Jackson Dart, taking over from Russell Wilson, there was some excitement there. But with the injuries, they've definitely taken a step back.
And they also, and Neighbors is out for the year. Scatterbow's out for the year.
Yeah, Neighbors was before the Dart thing. But anyway, yeah.
And they're going with Dart, which they should have been going with Dart all year. But Chicago Clarence, who wins Sunday?
I think we win.
Yes, I do too.
I think that the biggest thing is all of a sudden, since Scatterbo got hurt, this team all of a sudden can't run the ball.
Yeah.
And that's a problem. If you take the running game away from a football team and you're not the Cincinnati Bengals or the Dallas Cowboys, then you struggle to put points on the board. And if you get a rookie quarterback in your building and don't give him a running game, he's going to be up against it. Now, what worries me is this guy's a gunslinger and he can make plays with his legs.
Mm-hmm.
We saw what Baltimore did with us, and it wasn't Lamar Jackson. So a running quarterback can hurt us. We'll beat up in the secondary. Um, so that worries me, but I am going to take the Bears.
Yeah, I mean
Yes.
Tyrone Tracy's a serviceable running back. He's not as exciting, and as bad as we are against the run, I expect him to have some success. But no, I still think this game is pretty easy.
And the Giants' defense is really, really bad.
Well, they've got a good D line. They secondary
Yeah.
is just bad.
But they are 31st against the rush, 23rd in passing, and 29th total defense. Theirs is really bad. So to
Well, the
me,
weakness of Brian Burns and Abdul Carter is the weakness of them is neither one of them are particularly good against the run. So you run
Right.
the ball at them. I mean, I'm a Notre Dame fan, and Abdul Carter played for Penn State when they met in the playoffs last year. That's exactly what Notre Dame did with it against him. They ran the ball right at him,
Yeah.
and
Well,
that
Burns
neutralizes
plays.
that speed.
Yeah, they run a 3-4, right? Burns plays outside linebacker, which would have been a concern for us. I guess that's why we would have asked for Derek Brown,
Yeah, and
but
he likes to play with his hand in the dirt, and I think
but
he's a
he
little
is,
light in the
but
shorts to do that.
yeah, that's what. But he's super quick. At least he was coming out of college. I haven't seen him play in a while.
no, I haven't either. And Abdul Carter,
Mhm.
I know everybody wanted him last year. He's now a Giant. He's not putting up amazing numbers. Like we thought he was going to be like the next Miles Garrett with numbers, and he's not put those kind of numbers up.
His pass rush win rate's fairly decent, but he's
Yes.
not closing, not getting sacks. What were our offensive numbers? I heard we were way up the charts earlier today.
Yes, it's insane. The Bears offense. Listen to this, everybody. You're going to think I'm lying, but I looked
Yeah,
it up on
I couldn't
ESPN.
believe it.
We are 5th in total offense, 10th in pass offense, 2nd in rush yards, 6th in total points, and 8th in third down efficiency.
Unbelievable.
We're talking about a Chicago Bears offense.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, this is the Ben Johnson effect. I
I
mean,
would venture to guess we've never been higher than that in any of those categories.
I have never seen
1920s.
Chicago Clarence. Todd, have you ever seen a Chicago Bears offense producing like ours is in your life ever?
No.
Clarence?
I'm trying to think. There were some times when Jim Miller was there slinging the ball around. Um, I don't think our offenses was quite. I think our offense was up there when we had Cutler and
Mm,
those two. He at the time he had the best wide receiver duo when he
Yeah.
was there for about
Brandon
2
Marshall.
years. Yeah,
Alshon.
yeah. When he had Alshon Jeffrey and Brandon Marshall and more Matt Forte running the ball, our offense was pretty good then. And then we went to the NFC Championship game and lost that game when Cutler got hurt. But yeah, but I
Mhm.
think that the offense as a whole, with who's running the play, calling the plays, is better now than it was even back then because you just never really trust
Mhm.
our offensive coordinator back in those days, and even the head coach for that matter, Ben Johnson. I think that you could kind of see that Ben Johnson is building something here. Um,
Yes.
and even though I think at some points, sometimes it's hard for us to swallow, and it may even seem unfair for them to even ask the Chicago Bear fans for patience
So let
because
me
we have been patient with them.
So this is a comment from Dave on TikTok. He said, "I'm actually happy the Bears did not waste draft picks,
right.
knowing they aren't a Super Bowl contender this year." I agree with that.
Yeah.
So all you guys agree with that?
Yeah.
Yes, Dave.
Well,
they always
that's a
agree
good
with you.
segue because that's where I was heading.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard and unfair for you to ask us for more patience. We've been patient with you.
Yes.
You've
Yes.
wasted our patience, but
Yes.
you could kind of see what the plan is for the simple fact that he didn't go out there and spend draft capital on this team, even though Todd, we're tired of losing. We want to see a
Yes.
winner. So for us to be sitting here at 5-3 and we're right there in the midst to mix to win this division, you kind of want to see us go for it. But I understand that right now the best thing is to hold on to that draft capital.
Todd, did this feel like the Cubs at the trade deadline? You're expecting a move and we didn't make one? I mean, they made moves, but they were just like today.
Yeah, I don't
No
think
needle mover move.
Yeah, I don't think that we're not there. Like it did feel a little bit like that, but I wasn't disappointed that they didn't overpay. 'Cause I just hate that, and overpay for who? I mean, the guys that got dealt, we weren't going to trade for Sauce Gardner, and
No.
and we've got we may not have a great interior guy, but we've got a lot of interior guys. The spot that we're hurting is on the edge, and and the great edges didn't get traded, and nor should they, because it's one of the hardest things to get. So, but and everybody overpaid today without a doubt on a big name guy, and I get what the Colts did because they're having an unbelievable
Colts
year
are
that
all in.
weren't supposed to happen.
Colts are all in.
I get it, go for it. Go if that's what you think is the difference in making it to a Super Bowl, then go do that. But we weren't there, and Dallas really isn't there.
I'm surprised Dallas made that move for Quentin
maybe
Williams.
An ego thing, and I think they took a lot of heat after after the Parsons trade. So maybe they, I think Jerry has a bit of an ego.
I think I would venture to guess that he has an ego. But yeah, the Colts are all in.
I get it.
The Colts are all in.
Yeah.
They have the best running back in the NFL right now, arguably. Daniel Jones was an afterthought, a throwaway, and he's in the MVP talk.
These reclamation quarterback projects are, boy, some of them look great. I mean, even Darnold, Seattle's pretty great.
He's in the MVP talk.
And there was some question as to whether it was a fluke last year, and if he could do it. And there's teams that drafted these, with Tampa, with Baker. It's like, maybe you gave up a little too early on these guys, right?
Chicago Clarence, is the NFL giving up on these quarterbacks too early as a whole? I mean, like Todd said, we just point out how many quarterbacks that got thrown away and now they're thriving with the next team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think that's a problem in NFL? I mean, I think it is, because patience is not a virtue anymore in this world.
No patience at quarterback.
No. I mean, everybody has a phone in their hand. It's like we live in a fast-paced society now. We want results. I think that's where it is with Caleb Williams. We want him to excel right now. We don't want to wait. We want him to be the franchise quarterback right freaking now. We don't want to wait a year or to the end of the year or 4 more games. We want it right freaking now.
I mean, we're in a little bit of a situation than everybody else, because we ain't never had a quarterback in neither one of our lifetime. If you want to sit there and be honest, the last time we had a viable NFL quarterback, neither one of us was born.
No,
so
Sid Luckman.
And so you talking about the 1920s, for God's sake. And then Cutler was serviceable, but then you run into the point of having people operating everything that didn't know what they were doing. So you have that emphasis. So it's been hard, because we are the only team that doesn't have a 3,000-yard passer.
4,000.
The only
4.
I mean, excuse me. The only NFL team that doesn't have a 4,000-yard passer. That's pretty hard to do. So, I mean,
We're
it's
the
different from us.
oldest
Then
team
when
in
you think
NFL.
about what does Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield both have in common? They both played for the Carolina Panthers.
They did. At the same time, I think, didn't they? Like they were both
pretty damn close to the same time.
I know it. Kind of stormed off.
Yeah, he's always working. He's always getting paid. If there's commission to make, he's going to make it.
Yeah, there's so much pressure on these kids, especially, like Baker in Cleveland. But, he had success with them before they let him go. I mean, he had them in the playoffs, and then they still gave up on him. So,
yeah, I didn't understand why they gave up on Baker so quickly in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I I mean, he wasn't that bad in Cleveland.
He made funny commercials.
Yeah, but I think therein lies the problem with Caleb Williams. We drafted him first to be. He projects to be franchise,
Right.
and we want the results now. We don't want to wait. I think that's part of the problem. And then we see Jane Daniels had success last year. Drake May's in the MVP talk.
Bo Nix had success.
Yes, and then Caleb Williams, he's having success, but he's not having their success.
Right.
And I think that's part of the problem. But I think he's going to get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we screwed up his first year. I mean, we've talked
Yeah.
about it. You know, I mean, he's halfway through a season with a legitimate coach, and you know, probably doing things the right way. So, you know, and we've got a winning record. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get there. Ben Johnson, do you think he's? I think he's the guy.
oh yeah.
There's
You
no
know,
doubt in my mind.
You know, the trick plays. I just, I cringe. You know, and a lot of the times they work out. Sometimes it's just for minimal gain, and then, you know, they had a lot of success with this last week. But you know, I still, you know, I still enjoy running between the tackles and, you know, and smash mouth football and you know, and you don't have to go on every fourth down. You know, it's not the. But you know, but that's worked out pretty well too for the most part. But yeah, that's hard. It's hard to get used to.
So Chicago
Sorry,
Twins,
y'all.
how much money did you
all right,
just
man.
make in commission fees?
Yeah, man.
200,
Say,
3,
say what
4,
now?
5. How much money did you just make in commission fees? 200, 300, 400? He's always working, ladies and gentlemen.
Is it going to be your week?
So Chicago Clintz, let me ask you, Ben Johnson is trick plays. Some people will say when a coach runs trick plays, he's flinching because he's not good enough to win with regular play calling. Did you buy that? Do you like his trick plays?
No, I don't. I don't agree with that at all. And I do like his trick plays. I just question sometime when it's time to do them. Along with his aggressiveness with going for it on fourth down. I like the innovativeness that he had. Hell, I thought Matt Nagy had some innovativeness
year
when he
he
was
did.
calling them. You know,
First year he did.
so this one with DJ Moore actually throwing a touchdown to Caleb Williams. Hell, if you had both of them in your fantasy, you racked
Yeah.
up.
I did not
So,
rack up.
Caleb had 40 plus, I think. 40.
yeah, he had a
Yeah.
day. He had a
Yeah,
day,
but-
but I do like it, and it's refreshing to have a guy calling the offensive plays for us, and you can see the innovativeness, you can see the protection in these line calls that make sense, which is something that we always screamed about with Nagy. You know, you have a 5-3 running back on a defensive goal line stand,
Mhm.
and protection makes no sense when you got 6'4" Cole Kmet standing on the sideline drinking Gatorade.
Yeah.
You know, it was maddening, some of his calls. But yeah, you know, to answer your question, I do like it.
Todd, is there anything about Ben Johnson you just don't like or don't agree with so far?
No, you know, I don't think so. I think he gets he could be a little more animated on the sidelines. I know Clarence is always talking about that, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know, you should be, you know,
Losing
jumping
your
up and
shit
down.
on some of these
Yeah, right.
on some of these flags.
Could be a little more, but no, I can't really complain at all about him.
Like I think the Tremaine Edmonds interception, I didn't agree with that being called down by contact. Yes, he was clearly contacted, but he didn't have clear control of the ball, just like a wide receiver. He hadn't made the catch. He was in the process of making the catch, and then that little shoulder swipe, I thought was a horrible call. And then Clarence didn't like the one on Tyreek Stevenson where he got called. It was ticky-tack pass interference. And it took the interception away from Byard. Like,
Yeah. Well,
I mean, I guess
That pass interference call on Stevenson was asinine.
Yeah.
But that has happened to us every single week. And that's the only thing. If I had the other than him going forward on fourth down at some critical times, sometimes I think he should take the points. But that's really the only other criticism I have of Ben Johnson. You need to lose your mind on some of these officials, because every single week it's cost us. It cost us against Minnesota with the calls that
Hmm.
was made. It almost cost us against Washington with the elite, saying that we were lined up wrong. I mean, everybody, even Troy Aikman, who seems to be a bona fide bear hater, you
Yeah.
know, you forced him to sit there and admit that it was a bad call. And don't even get me started on DeAndre Hopkins pulling the face mask and
Yeah,
getting
that
Yeah.
away with OPI, and
was
that wasn't called.
terrible. That was terrible.
At some point you just need to just go ahead and tell your wife we're going to write a $15,000 check for being fined for criticizing the officials because it's
Clarence.
been warranted.
Clarence would. Clarence would lead the NFL in fines if he was an NFL coach. And all of us at the table say that.
Well,
He
I mean,
would be writing checks every single week.
yeah.
But
If we're ever thrown out of a bar, I can promise everybody it's going to be because of me.
you've stormed out of a bar. We were
More than
telling those
once.
stories Sunday. Has an NFL coach been ejected of late? Like, did they even do that?
I never remember.
I could.
can't-
I
Does
can't
anyone
remember that.
remember an NFL coach being
They're,
ejected?
I don't remember too many of them raising much hell at all over anything, really. I mean,
Well, I mean, if it's happened, then I would probably say it was probably Bill Parcells, Buddy Ryan.
Buddy Ryan.
Yeah, I could see it happening to Buddy
Yeah, he
mean,
would
Ryan.
I
probably
don't.
be right. He would probably be right.
I don't recall an NFL coach of late being ejected. I mean, I know they do in
Not of late.
basketball and baseball.
So a guy they had in Atlanta for a while.
Glanville.
Yeah.
I don't think he ever got ejected.
Uh, it takes a lot.
It does take a lot. Yes, Arthur, who's been on our show many times. I agree with that one too. In the Ravens game, the instant replay clearly shows it was helmet to helmet
Mhm.
contact with Humphrey, but it wasn't called a flag, and he was fined for it later. Agree with that 100%. So, Todd, take it away. What are your final thoughts about our Chicago Bears?
You know the fact that they could still fall apart there at the end of that game is just shocking. I mean, we were all so confident, and
Yes.
we never leave. Bro. Clarence had a reason. I didn't have a reason other than
You wanted ice cream.
well, I'm sure I'll take that. I think Wendy wanted ice cream, but anyway, um, you know, I don't know. The fact that it could fall apart so quickly is
It was startling. It
I know that
shocking.
they strive for parity, but this year feels
Like
there's
parity.
a lot of it. It really does. Nobody's really running away with much of anything. So
I mean, my final thoughts is always thank you for the comments. You can find us on Facebook, X, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Like Todd said, I was shocked that we fell apart like that. Like Tremaine Edmonds, the touchdown didn't count. I thought it did, but it was just shocking to see us fall apart like that. I know we won the game, and you never should apologize for a win, as they say on all these sites. It's hard to win on the road in the NFL, but I was very surprised to see us fall. I mean, we fell apart at the end. There's no other way to say it. We fell apart, and that was shocking to see. With the Eberflus, we would have definitely lost that game.
oh yeah.
But like I said, Caleb Williams, I think he is the man. I think we had the franchise quarterback. So, Chicago Clarence, what are your final thoughts? And I'm glad, and as Casey said, I'm glad you weren't there because there probably would have been table overturned.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't see it. I'm just glad I didn't see it. We've already received a warning for how being loud in the bar, so I don't want to press our luck. But as you said, you should never apologize for getting a win in the NFL, especially when you do it on the road. So although I ain't happy with them losing the lead, I am encouraged by that the fact that we have won 3 games now that we
Yeah.
probably would have and should have lost in the past.
Flus,
Um,
yes.
yeah, so I'm encouraged by that. I can't help but be a little bit disappointed that the fact that we didn't go for it a little bit more and boost this 5-3 record. And unless we don't definitely feel like we don't have a legitimate chance of winning this division, because you just never know. I mean, let's think about it. Can we all agree that we should have beaten Minnesota? We'd be
Yeah.
6-2 and in first place right now
Yeah.
in this division. And that's getting our asses completely handed to us by the Detroit Lions. That same Minnesota team that we manhandled just did the same thing to Detroit in Detroit.
Yeah.
So anything can happen on any given Sunday. I think more could have done. I think more should have been done. Now, if Ryan Post can sit there and legitimately tell us that he tried without mortgaging the future, then you can kind of sell me on that because I'm with not doing that. But Ryan Post, more and more when you're in the job that you're in, some of your past decisions that you choose to make or not make haunt you later. And the fact that you didn't get a bona fide pass rusher in here on this team is haunting you right now because it is
It is.
sorely needed. And I think that it's probably going to help decide whether we go to the playoffs or not or how long we stay. So, with that, I want to take this time and I want to wish my youngest daughter happy birthday. She turns 13 today, Chelsea
Woo.
Singleton. She is at
Happy
a event
birthday.
right now with her mom and sister that you know that phone call enables me to finance.
Mm.
But kids are
So
wonderful.
you weren't making
They
money; you were spending money.
Yeah, I was spending money. Kids are wonderful, y'all. And on a personal note, I can tell y'all this that I lost a child at the age of 3. She would have been 16 today. And the
Mm.
more I see my daughters grow up and become young women and need me less and less and less, and it's time to spend some of my money, they grow up fast, and you got to cherish and relish every second that you get with them because you just never know when something's going to happen, or you're going to look out now and it's been 15 years and they're in college or they're married with and you've got grandkids. So I
Yeah.
try to cherish every single second that I get to be a dad to these wonderful girls. And my other daughter Alicia's with us on Sundays and watching football, and I love those
Talking
days as
shit.
well.
Say it.
Yeah,
Talking
well,
shit.
she is very good at talking trash. She
Mm.
gets it honest. But I just like I said, I wanted to wish my baby happy birthday, and
Yeah,
she's enjoyed her day.
Well, happy birthday. And
absolutely.
with that, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. Let's beat the Giants on Sunday. Peace out. Bear down.
Fair enough.